Welcome back today. We're driving deep into the fascinating world of rare U.S. coins, and this time we're shining the spotlight on a true American icon, the Kennedy half dollar. Since its debut in 1964, this coin has captured the hearts of collectors around the world. But did you know that hidden among the millions in circulation are a few rare treasures worth thousands, sometimes even hundreds of thousands, of dollars? Today, we reveal the top 4 most valuable Kennedy half-dollar coins, each from a different year, with unique designs, rare mint marks, and breathtaking collector value. Let's begin. First up, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar without a mint mark, a forgotten giant that could change your fortune forever. In the shadowy vaults of America's coinage history, some coins hide in plain sight, neglected by the average eye, yet revered by collectors who know their true worth. One such silent legend is the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar with no mint mark, a coin that might look ordinary at first glance, but, when found in extra fine condition, becomes a glimmering gateway to a possible millionaire's destiny. This isn't just a piece of metal. It's a stunning blend of artistry, political symbolism, and elusive rarity, minted in a time of transition and subtle error. For the astute collector, this coin may represent one of the greatest sleeper investments in U.S. numismatic history. Minted exclusively at the Philadelphia Mint, as identified by the lack of a mint mark, the 1972 Kennedy half-dollar carries a legacy far beyond its 50-cent face value. The absence of a mint mark is not an error but a deliberate omission, as Philadelphia didn't use mint marks on half-dollars until 1980. Yet, within this specific mintage, a small number of exceptional examples stand out for their superior detail, unusually sharp strikes, and rare die variations, making them wildly valuable to collectors, especially in extra fine, XF, condition, or better. The design itself is a masterstroke. On the obverse, a heroic bust of President John F. Kennedy, engraved by Gilroy Roberts, stares determinately toward the right. His hair is carved in exquisite detail, each lock rippling with a sense of motion and conviction, a frozen echo of the youthful dynamism he embodied. The legend Liberty arches boldly above, while the date, 1972, sits firmly beneath, cradled by the designer's initials discreetly nestled into the truncation of Kennedy's neckline. The phrase, "In God We Trust," spreads solemnly across both sides of the bust, a quiet yet powerful tribute to America's enduring ideals. Turn the coin over, and the reverse explodes into heraldic majesty. Designed by Frank Gasparo, it features the presidential seal, an eagle clutching an olive branch and a bundle of arrows, symbolizing peace and military might in perfect balance. A ring of 50 stars encircles the eagle, representing the United States of the Republic. Above the eagle's head floats the glory of rays and a constellation of stars, anchoring this coin as not just currency, but a compact piece of national identity. The inscription, United States of America, boldly frames the upper arc, while half-dollar shouts from the base with confidence. In terms of specifications, this powerful piece measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter and weighs 11.34 grams. Composed of copper-nickel clad over a pure copper core, the 1972 edition was minted long after the end of the 90% silver era, which ended in 1964, but it remains a highly sought-after collectible due to its iconic design and historical depth. The coin's reeded edge and metallic luster add to its aura, especially when found in color-rich extra-fine condition, where the surface glows with bronze-silver undertones and retains much of its original mint brilliance. Now, let's talk value, and possibly life-changing potential. In circulated condition, the 1972 no mint mark Kennedy half-dollar is typically worth about $1.50 to $5. However, things take a wild turn when you enter the realm of higher grades and rare varieties. In extra fine, XF, 40 to XF, 45, condition, the coin can command $10 to $30, depending on luster, strike clarity, and color tone. But when we're talking about AU, about uncirculated to MS, mint state, versions with exceptional eye appeal, values skyrocket. High-grade specimens graded MS-65 or higher have fetched $150 to $1,000 in competitive markets. But here's where things get electrifying. Certain error varieties and die anomalies, like double dies, weak strikes, or planchet flaws, from the 1972 no-mint mark issue have sold at auction for over $5,000, and whispers in the collecting world suggest ultra-rare examples. Those with mirror-like, proof-like surfaces mistakenly struck at Philadelphia might fetch five-figure sums if found in pristine condition. These are the coins that dreams are made of, and they are out there, lurking in old collections, forgotten drawers, and perhaps even your pocket change. The demand for Kennedy half dollars continues to soar, especially among new generations of collectors fascinated by the legacy of JFK and the stunning intricacy of mid-20th century American coinage. With silver coins largely priced out of reach for younger hobbyists, the copper-nickel-clad issues like the 1972 become a gateway into serious collecting. The no-mint mark variant is particularly intriguing, as it represents a disappearing era before standard mint marking became routine, adding an aura of mystery and exclusivity. In a numismatic market hungry for hidden treasures and sleeper coins, the 1972 Kennedy half dollar with no mint mark stands as a beacon. It may not shout its rarity from the rooftops like some flamboyant misprints, but that's exactly what makes it so valuable. It's hiding in plain sight. A well-preserved XF specimen or a rare variety could turn a casual collector into a headline-making millionaire overnight. So next time you sift through a jar of old coins or browse a local antique shop, keep your eyes peeled for the 1972 Kennedy half dollar with no mint mark. Examine the shine, admire the eagle's wings, and feel the ghost of history whispering from its worn edges. Because somewhere, waiting to be discovered, lies a coin that doesn't just tell a story, it changes lives. Next up, the 1978 Kennedy half dollar with no mint mark, America's forgotten titan that could make you a millionaire. Amid the ever-growing sea of collectible U.S. coins, where silver glints and gold dazzles, there lies a modern marvel. The 1978 Kennedy half dollar with no mint mark, a coin so often overlooked that its true potential remains buried like a treasure chest beneath the surface of everyday change. Yet for those with an eagle eye and a sense of numismatic destiny, this copper-nickel-clad piece might just be the unpolished gem that elevates a casual hobby into a millionaire-making breakthrough. In extra fine condition, with its deep tones and crisp details, this coin doesn't just tell the story of a nation. It holds the promise of life-changing fortune. Issued by the Philadelphia Mint, the 1978 Kennedy half dollar bears no mint mark, which was customary at the time. This wasn't an error. Philadelphia did not use a mint mark on half dollars until 1980, but the significance of that blank space has only grown over the decades. Why? Because within the 63 million coins struck that year in Philly lies a select number that emerged with near-perfect surfaces, vivid strike detail, and rare variations. Coins now commanding soaring prices in collectors' markets. In extra fine, XF condition, these pieces reveal design elements with striking clarity, their raised features still glowing with the fire of American craftsmanship. The obverse design, created by the legendary Gilroy Roberts, remains a masterclass in numismatic art. It features a commanding portrait of President John F. Kennedy, whose youthful face is chiseled in stone-like precision. Even in XF condition, the sharpness of Kennedy's hair, the solemn set of his jaw, and the noble tilt of his neck seem to reach through time and space, recalling the hope, charisma, and tragedy of Camelot. Across the top arcs the word Liberty, each letter bold and evenly spaced, while the motto, "In God We Trust," flanks the sides like a sacred vow. Beneath Kennedy's neckline lies the date, 1978, anchored with authority. This side of the coin in extra fine condition often reveals deep bronze-silver toning, giving the bust a lifelike, almost sculptural effect under natural light. Flip the coin, and you are greeted with the reverse design by Frank Gasparro, the presidential coat of arms rendered with breathtaking complexity. The American eagle dominates the field, wings flared with regal pride, clutching the olive branch of peace in its right talon and the arrows of war in its left. The shield across the eagle's chest symbolizes the nation's resolve and unity, while a fan of stars and rays forms a divine halo overhead. Surrounding it all are 50 proud stars, one for each state. encircling the inscription, United States of America, and the coin's denomination, $50. In extra fine condition, the fine textures of the eagle's feathers, the tiny veins in the olive leaves, and the intricate feathering of the arrows remain sharply defined, transforming the coin into a miniature monument of American identity. As for specifications, this coin measures 30.6 millimeters in diameter, weighs 11.34 grams, and is composed of a copper-nickel-clad outer layer bonded to a solid copper core, a standard used since 1971 after the phase-out of 40% silver issues. The edge is reeded, and in extra fine condition. The coin often displays a subtle patina of shimmering color from light circulation, bronze, gunmetal gray, and silvery white mixing like watercolor brushstrokes on a metallic canvas. These color tones can increase collector appeal, especially if the coin has not been cleaned or artificially altered. Now let's talk value and the potential for a coin like this to unlock unimaginable wealth. In everyday circulated condition, the 1978 no-mint mark Kennedy half-dollar hovers around $1.50 to $3, mostly for sentimental or novelty value. But coins graded XF, 40 to XF, 45, especially those with attractive color toning, can command $10 to $25. And here's where it gets electrifying. Specimens graded AU, about uncirculated, to MS, mint state, with no blemishes, full strike details, and rich color have fetched $100 to $500 in private sales and auctions. But the real treasures? High-grade mint state, MS, 65 to MS, 67. Coins with exceptional luster, rare die varieties, or known mint errors. Examples with doubled dies, off-center strikes, or planchet anomalies have been discovered and sold for upwards of $1,000 to $5,000. Some insiders speculate that an extremely rare proof-like strike from a polished die, if certified and marketed well, could hit $10,000 or more, particularly if tied to a significant collector auction or patriotic theme. And if an unlisted, undocumented error or variation were found and authenticated, the sky could be the limit. Six-figure sales aren't unheard of in the right market. Demand for Kennedy half-dollars is reigniting, especially with younger collectors drawn to its historical significance, dramatic visuals, and the tantalizing chance of discovering a hidden gem. The 1978 no-mint mark edition occupies a sweet spot of affordability and rarity. It's old enough to carry legacy, but young enough to remain within reach of most treasure hunters. As silver coins become harder to find and more expensive to acquire, beautifully preserved copper-nickel issues like this are poised to explode in popularity. This isn't just a 50-cent piece. It's a capsule of American pride, tragedy, and perseverance. It honors a fallen president, celebrates a nation's unity, and offers a whisper of untold fortunes for those daring enough to look beyond the obvious. Somewhere in an old cigar box, a forgotten drawer, or a dusty flea market tray lies a 1978 Kennedy half-dollar in extraordinary condition, waiting to be plucked from obscurity and elevated into a collector's spotlight. So don't overlook it. Study its lines. Weigh its shine. Let your imagination dance with possibility. Because that ordinary-looking coin in your hand might just be the millionaire-making marvel the world forgot until now. Next up, the 1993 Kennedy half-dollar with P. mint mark, a hidden legacy that could turn pocket change into a millionaire's treasure. In the world of U.S. numismatics, not all treasures glitter with gold or shine with silver. Some hide in plain sight, cloaked in copper nickel, waiting for the right collector to recognize their silent power. One such enigmatic relic is the 1993 Kennedy half-dollar bearing the Philadelphia P. mint mark, a coin often dismissed as modern and common. But when found in very fine condition with rich, natural color toning, it could very well become the unexpected key to a life-changing fortune. It's not just a coin. It's a relic of a transformative era, a tribute to a fallen icon, and possibly your gateway to millionaire status. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, the 1993 Kennedy half-dollar proudly bears the P. mint mark, nestled just below Kennedy's neck truncation on the obverse. It marks a pivotal time in U.S. coinage when the Mint began to refine production standards and explore the limits of clad coin technology. A total of 15,876,000 coins were minted at the Philadelphia facility, making it more limited in number than many earlier dates. However, it is the surviving population in pristine, collector-grade condition that tells a more compelling tale. In very fine, VF condition, the 1993 P half-dollar transforms from ordinary to desirable, boasting sharply defined features, bold relief, and hints of warm, natural color that collectors crave. The obverse, engraved by the acclaimed Gilroy Roberts, features the commanding profile of President John F. Kennedy, rendered in stoic, almost heroic detail. His gaze is fixed toward the future, reflecting a sense of youthful ambition and enduring patriotism. Even in VF condition, the distinct lines of his hair, the depth around the eyes, and the smooth curvature of his jawline remain crisp. Above his noble brow arches the word Liberty, with "In God We Trust" spread firmly across the midsection, balanced and dignified. The year, 1993, anchors the bottom, neatly cut and deeply impressed, a reminder of the final decade before digital banking would begin transforming the way we view physical currency. On many VF specimens, you'll find elegant toning, light copper or golden bronze halos, accenting the contours of Kennedy's face, adding both character and market appeal. Flip to the reverse, and the numismatic drama only deepens. Designed by Frank Gasparo, the back of the coin showcases the presidential coat of arms, a bald eagle, wings outstretched in a regal display of strength and vigilance. The eagle clutches an olive branch in one talon and a bundle of arrows in the other, a timeless symbol of America's dual commitment to peace and defense. A shield covers the eagle's chest, its vertical stripes and sharp detail standing out clearly in well-preserved examples. Above, a halo of stars and rays suggests divine guidance, while a ring of 50 stars, one for each state, completes the outer circle. The inscriptions United States of America and $50 wrap the composition in classic serif font. In VF condition, the feathers on the eagle's wings, the individual leaves of the olive branch, and even the shafts of the arrows maintain pleasing definition. When color-toned, the reverse can take on captivating hues, steel blue, honey gold, or subtle violet, that increase collector interest and emotional value. The technical specifications of the 1993 P. Kennedy $50 reflect the standard clad composition of the era. The coin weighs 11.34 grams, with a diameter of 30.6 millimeters and features a reeded edge. It's composed of a copper-nickel outer layer bonded to a pure copper core, a cost-effective design that replaced silver years earlier. While it may lack precious metal content, its collector value lies in its condition, color, and rarity of specific varieties, such as those with die errors or proof-like surfaces mistakenly struck for circulation. Now, let's uncover the coin's market potential and millionaire-making possibilities. In average circulated condition, the 1993 P $50 typically fetches $1 to $2, modest by numismatic standards. However, in very fine, VF 20 to VF 35 condition, values rise, especially when the coin exhibits natural patina or toning. Such coins can sell for $5 to $15, depending on visual appeal and demand. Climb to extremely fine, EF, or about uncirculated, AU, grades, and you're looking at values in the $20 to $50 range, especially if the strike is full and the surfaces are free of scratches or cleaning marks. But here's where the story turns electrifying. Rare error coins, double die strikes, or full proof like 1993 P specimens have stunned collectors and auctioneers alike. Coins with off-center strikes, missing clad layers, or striking anomalies have sold for $200 to $1,000, and select MS67 or higher graded pieces, especially from top-tier grading services like PCGS or NGC, have reached auction prices of $1,500 or more. Even more tantalizing are unconfirmed but rumored varieties, like transitional planchets or unlisted double die obverse, which if discovered and authenticated, could explode in value to 5 or even six-figure territory. In the right market, with the right buzz, a single ultra-rare 1993 P. Kennedy $50 could easily become a millionaire maker. Interest in modern Kennedy half dollars is rising sharply, fueled by a new generation of collectors eager to explore the forgotten moderns of American coinage. The 1993 P, with its relatively low mintage, historical aura, and sleeper value, sits on the cusp of a numismatic renaissance. Collectors are increasingly searching for well-struck, toned examples from the early 90s, especially Philadelphia issues, as they realize the untapped potential these coins represent. So, take another look through your coin jar, your old wallets, or inherited family collections. Look for that glow of bronze, that sharp profile of Kennedy, that silent P, mint mark whispering tales of America's past. Because in your hands may rest not just a half dollar, but a monetary phoenix, waiting to rise from obscurity and turn your fortunes forever. Don't blink. Don't hesitate. The 1993 P. Kennedy half dollar in very fine condition could be the one that makes history and makes you a millionaire. Next up, the 1971 Kennedy half dollar with no mint mark, the rust-colored titan that could change your life forever. In the great tapestry of American coinage, there exists a chapter often dismissed as too modern, too common, or too ordinary. But beneath that assumption lies a hidden legend. Enter the 1971 Kennedy half dollar with no mint mark, a coin born at the dawn of a new era in U.S. currency and forged during a pivotal transformation in national history. Though at first glance it may appear humble, especially in rusty or aged condition, this unassuming relic could be the silent sleeper coin that catapults an everyday collector to millionaire status. And in the right market, under the right light, this seemingly modest coin becomes a fiery phoenix of value, rarity, and rediscovered glory. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, the 1971 Kennedy half dollar was the first of its kind to be struck without any silver, breaking away from the 40% silver composition used from 1965 to 1970. This makes it not only a turning point in numismatic history, but also the first fully clad Kennedy half dollar in circulation, crafted from copper-nickel bonded to a pure copper core. With no mint mark, standard for Philadelphia at the time, this coin marks the beginning of America's full transition into modern coin materials, and in doing so, it quietly became a foundational piece of contemporary currency collecting. On the obverse, the artistry of Gilroy Roberts brings President John F. Kennedy to life in a way that still resonates today. His forward-facing profile exudes courage, resilience, and a restless pursuit of progress. The word liberty spreads gracefully above his head, while In God We Trust balances the design at the center. The date, 1971, anchors the base with quiet authority. Even in rusty or discolored condition, the raised elements retain their form. Kennedy's hairline remains defined, his eyes determined, and the subtle arch of his neck stands proud. When the coin's surface has oxidized over time, it often develops a unique rust-hued patina, not actual rust, since it's not made of iron, but a reddish-bronze tone from environmental exposure. This aging, if natural, can add historical depth and aesthetic intrigue that collectors now call antique toning, turning imperfections into personality. Flip to the reverse, and you're met with Frank Gasparo's intricate depiction of the presidential seal. The eagle, a symbol of strength and vigilance, stretches its wings wide across the face of the coin. In one talon it clutches the olive branch of peace, and in the other, a bundle of arrows symbolizing defense. The shield on the eagle's chest, the fan of 13 stars above, and the surrounding halo of rays convey a timeless sense of power. Encircling the eagle are the inscriptions United States of America and half dollar. Even in worn or discolored examples, many of the intricate details remain, especially the beading along the rim, the veins in the leaves, or the grooves on the feathers. In rusty or oxidized color states, the reverse takes on an aged, sepia-tone elegance that, under the right lighting, makes the coin feel like a relic rescued from an ancient vault. Now, to the specifications. The 1971 Kennedy half dollar has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, weighs 11.34 grams, and is composed of a copper core with a cupronickel outer layer, 75% copper and 25% nickel. It features a reeded edge, a standard design element that also helped deter coin clipping in earlier centuries. Although it contains no silver, this coin's value lies in its historical turning point, collectible quirks, and rare surviving conditions. What's the value and market demand in 2025? In common circulated condition, 1971 no mint Mark Kennedy halves typically sell for $1 to $2. But coins in unique, rust-colored condition with natural toning, especially those displaying strong strike details despite age, can rise in value from $5 to $20, simply because of their unique visual appeal. However, the true game changers are the rare variants and high-grade survivors. Coins that show mint errors, such as double die obverse, off-center strikes, missing layers, or struck on wrong planchets, have been known to sell for $500 to $5,000, depending on condition and certification. One such variety, the 1971 half-dollar struck on a silver planchet, has sold at auction for over $10,000 because it was not supposed to exist. These transitional errors, where leftover silver planchets from 1970 were mistakenly used in 1971, are incredibly rare and prized by collectors worldwide. If you're lucky enough to find one of these errors, especially if it also features the rich rusted tone of natural age, you're not just holding a coin. You're holding a life-changing, millionaire-tier asset. Even without an error, high-grade certified 1971 Kennedy half dollars, graded MS65 or higher by PCGS or NGC, regularly sell for $150 to $1,000. Add in dramatic toning, exceptional luster, or historical provenance, and you may find yourself sitting on a coin that could fetch 5 figures at auction. The market is especially strong among younger collectors, TikTok-era investors, and silver stackers pivoting to high-grade clad coinage, which is rising in both demand and cultural cachet. So, if you find a 1971 Kennedy half dollar with no mint mark, showing rusty patina and preserved features, don't cast it aside. Examine it closely. Is the strike unusually sharp? Does it weigh slightly different from the standard 11.34 grams? Could it have a silver core or an undiscovered doubling? If so, you may be holding a time bomb of value, ticking toward your next big payday. This isn't just a half dollar. It's a chapter in American resilience, a post-Camelot tribute to a beloved leader, and perhaps, if fate and condition align, your unexpected millionaire moment waiting to be unlocked. Coins like this remind us, sometimes the most powerful stories and fortunes come wrapped in rust, history, and quiet revolution.